Hello there, my name is Annette with Sunbeam Fabric Art. Welcome to my channel. I have got a bunch of scraps still left over from the 42 fat quarter bundle I got for Christmas. Some of the scraps I cut off from a prior quilt were little less than an inch, and I still wanted to find a way to use them. So here is what I'm going to be doing. I've got this fusible. It's a double-sided fusible, so you press the bumpy side first to the fabric, then you peel away the paper, and then you can press and adhere the other side. So the first thing I wanted to do was find a background lining type fabric. This green fabric with vegetables on it came as part of, I think it was a mystery box, and I don't really like it. It's just not my thing. But anyway, I'm going to cut off a piece that's thick enough for the width of this fusible paper. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that bumpy side to the wrong side of that green fabric. I cut out a few other squares of this fusible because I thought, well, these would be good for little projects, but I'm just going to press on one at a time. Now I can go ahead and cut out these squares and start my projects. I'm going to start with just one piece here, and I'm going to peel that paper off, and you can see how shiny it is. That is the glue that is going to hold some fabric on there for me. Now I'll leave a link to where these trimmings came from. It is a charm pack quilt that I made with black and white prints and purple prints, and the cutoffs were quite small, less than an inch, but I want to use them up here on this project. Now I'm laying out pieces one at a time so that they will have glue on the back, but I'm overlapping just a little bit on one edge. I noticed pretty quickly that any least little bump would mess up my plan. So I started using my straight pins to press the fabric down and hold it into place until I'm ready to press it. Now I'm doing this right on top of my wool pressing mat. And I've got this long strip, it's about 1 1/4 inches wide of this turquoise fabric. So I'm making sure that my next row of these tiny crumb scraps will be overlapped once I put that blue strip back down. Here is a close-up look of how this sheet looks before pressing. I'm going to get down here on the side so you can see how many straight pins I put in this project. It's pretty funny to see them all there. I'm going to pull out a few at a time and press it slowly and gently to get everything glued down. Now I have a piece of cloth that's got a backing or a lining, and it's got the fusible in the middle and then the scraps on top. Now we know these pieces could be ripped off pretty easily, so what I'm going to be doing is stitching them down with stitches about 1/2 inch apart from each other. I started off with some decorative stitches on my machine. The one I'm using here on the seams of that blue fabric is an asterisk type look, and I did that on four edges of those blue strips, and then I went down the middle of those blue strips with a different stitch, and then for the rest of the project I stitched about a ½ inch apart with various faster stitches. Here is a look at my finished piece of fabric. So I've got the front that is crumbs, and there is going to be one raw edge for each piece. There is overlapping, but there's also one side that will be raw edge. But all these stitches so close together are going to hold all that fabric in place. I did want to take some time and go ahead and tack down all these crumbs onto this facing before I moved on to making a project. So I'll speed through this part and you can see what I'm doing here. I'm just putting the fabric on and pressing it. On this piece, you can see I used a couple of 5-inch squares that were leftovers. And I found that if I was very careful, I did not need to use the pins everywhere before I pressed. These pieces really look pretty, don't they? With the decorative stitching, the purple and the black and white fabric, and then those colorful fabrics thrown in too. Well, here's the bonus. I'm going to go ahead and make one project out of this fabric that I've created that already has a lining attached to it. This is my easiest way ever to make a zip bag, and since I have the back and the front already done, I just have to cut out my shape and stitch on the zipper and then close the side seams. I've got a little bit of this turquoise fabric strip left that's 1 1/4 inches wide. I'm going to stitch one piece to opposite sides of my shape. I did go ahead and stitch both sides down. Next, what I'm going to do is fold up one edge and fold it down again on itself to hide the raw edge. And I'm going to put a clip on that to hold it in place. Now I've got a bunch of these fancy zippers from Missouri Star. I need to get them used up, so I'm just placing this right on top of that casing where there's plenty of room for the zipper to zip and stitching that down. Before I stitch down the other side of the zipper to the casing on the opposite side of the little bag, I'm going to get these ends of the zipper matched up with that little metallic end of the zipper. Then I can flip around the other side where the casing is, get those two sides lined up, and then I'll be able to clip that into place and then stitch that other side of the zipper to the casing. And again, I'm making sure that zipper edge, the zipper closure part, is far enough away from the inside edge that the zipper will open and close freely. I do have my zipper foot on my machine right now, and I'm stitching one seam to the far left, and then I stitch another seam on the right side of my zipper foot. That way I make sure this zipper is tacked down with 2 seams. Next, I make a decision about where I want the zipper to land on this outside, and I'm going to have it almost to the top. With that fusible in the middle, these layers are a little bit thick to do a French seam. So I'm turning my bag wrong side out, and I'm going to sew the side seam with a straight stitch first. I trim away all the excess, and then I put my machine on a blanket stitch or applique stitch, and I go over that seam again to cover up most of the raw edges. Now, making sure my zipper is most of the way open, I'm going to go ahead and do the opposite side of the bag and close that side seam the same way. Now that the side seams are closed, all I have to do is turn that bag right side out, use my little wooden tool to poke out the corners, and I'll also take it to the iron and press everything nice and flat. And I double check that the zipper opens and closes freely. I hope that looking at my finished bag here inspires you to use up some of your crumbs and leftovers. For now, I'm going to put this little zip bag away in my potential gift area, and those extra sheets that I've already got ready to go will go into my craft pile for more projects like this. Let me know in the comments if you've ever tried this way of making craft fabric before. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you back again real soon.